This is the TI-30 and we're now going to find out how to find a binomial probability. Now, the first thing a probability starts off with is a combination, and so I'm going to go ahead and turn this calculator on, and you'll notice I have the button PRB, and this is where I'm going to find my probability buttons or choices. But the problem is, if I hit this first, I see the NCR that I want. If I enter that, it says answer. It's taking some previous number, and I don't want that. So what happens to use this button, I'm going to hit clear, is I need to hit the first number, n, the fixed number of items. So let's go ahead and use 15. So when I see n, the fixed number of items I want, now I can go ahead and hit the PRB button. I can scroll down once to the NCR for combination, not permutation, not factorial, but the combination, hit enter, and now on the screen I see NCR after the 15, and it's waiting for R, which is the same thing as X. And so we're going to go ahead and use 13, and I'm going to be finding the combination of 15 items, choose 13. But since it hasn't given me the value yet, I need to go ahead and hit enter. And I get 105. There is 105 ways to choose 13 items from a set of 15. But when it comes to a binomial probability, that's the first of 3 parts of the formula. So I know how many ways there is to do it, but I need to get everything worked out. So normally the next thing we do is multiply this with the probability of picking one of those single 13 items and then to the 13th power. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and hit times, since I could retype the 105, but this causes the 105 to kind of automatically show up for me, so I don't have to type it. I need to multiply it times the probability of p to the x power. Since there's a little bit more than one value there, I'm going to hit parenthesis to start this out. I see my parenthesis. I take p, the probability of success, of one success, which we're going to use 0.6. But I need that to be to the x power, which x is the same as r in this problem. X is always the same as r, but it's going to be the 13th power. So to use a different power than squared, I've got this top half of a triangle, and I'm now in the exponent area, and I'm ready to type the 13. But I want to close this off, and you'll notice the cursor is still blinking up in the exponent area. So I want to go back down to the regular line, and when I hit the down arrow, nothing happens. But when I hit the right arrow, I go down to the line I want, and I can go ahead and close off this term, and now I have just 0.6 to the 13th power. This needs to be multiplied now with the rest of the problem. You could probably start with a parenthesis. It's a habit to start with times, and a parenthesis for my next term. Now we need Q, which is 1 minus p, so 1 minus 0.6. Well, that's easy enough to do in my head. That's 0.4. And I need that to be to the n minus x, or n minus r power. 15 minus 13 is 2. So I need that squared. In this case, since it's squared, you could go ahead and square it. Again, kind of habit to just hit the exponent button, so that way I can handle any problem that I come across. So I need to square that, and it's again a habit to come down and close off the parentheses. Since I don't have a value, but I've entered everything I need, I can hit the enter button, and I get 0.02194, etc. If there is a 0.6 probability of choosing an item, then the probability of choosing 13 of those items out of a set of 15 is exactly 0.02194, etc. And that is for the TI-30XS.